Shabbat Shalom, my friends, and Chag Purim Samayach. Now, don't be overly confused. A Shabbat greeting, of course, is appropriate each and every week. But Purim was Thursday evening and Friday morning, right? So it's all over. Well, not exactly. Purim is one of those holidays that can best be described, my words, as chronologically amorphous. Sure, we read the Megillah Thursday evening. We read the Megillah again Friday morning. But in Israel this year, Purim happily hangs around until Sunday. After all, Misha Nichnas Adar Nichnas SIMCHA, when the month of Adar comes, the month in which Purim is found, happiness enters our lives, joy. The more joy, the better, right? Especially this year. We can really use more joy right now. But uniquely in Jerusalem, because of its status as an ancient walled city, Purim in 2021 extends until Sunday. So let the Hamantashen and carnivals continue wherever we live. And may it be that the only masks that we will be wearing in 2022 will be all about Mordechai and Esther, and not about COVID. Truly a Haman. Boo! If there ever was one. Our Sedra is Tetzaveh, Exodus 27:20 and following. The text is devoted to the arcane complexities surrounding the establishment of the priesthood. Aaron, Moses' brother, is to become the Kohen Gadol, the high priest. There are special garments, highly symbolic garments, to be made. There are special sacrifices to be carried out as Aaron is to be consecrated to his task. And there are mysteries calling out to be uncovered. Aviva Zornberg focuses on a variety of midrashim that talk about an assumed competition, a tension between Moses and Aaron, the brothers. Up until this moment, Moses operated as both the secular and religious leader of the Israelites. If you will, he was both the king and the priest. Moses spoke with God. Moses executed God's will. Moses set up courts. Moses set up military command. And Moses was confident that the dual roles would continue to be his. But now God is quite clear. Quote, "And as for you, Moses, you shall bring forward your brother Aaron to be consecrated as high priest." Oops. The rabbis imagined, as only the rabbis could have imagined, what was going on through Moses' mind right then. I'm being devoted. I'm being slighted. Am I being punished? If so, what did I do that's so wrong? Why is Aaron being given such a significant segment of the roles that have been occupied by me from the very beginning? And the rabbis added a note to us in 2021. Don't bother telling Moses that since Aaron was the older brother, the high priesthood was his by right, after all. The whole book of Genesis is about the overthrowing of primogeniture. Moses had, from the time of the burning bush, instinctively felt that both kingship and priesthood would be his. But now, this illusion was brutally shattered. The solution offered by the rabbi should come as no big surprise to us. It was God's intention that Moses was to be given the crown of Torah, while Aaron was to be given the crown of priesthood. Moses was to be prophet and lawgiver. Aaron was to be the exalted religious functionary. And the rabbis, who saw themselves as carrying on the work of revealing the oral law, the oral Torah, the evolving Jewish tradition to our people. For them, for the rabbis, Torah and prophecy and the laws of Jewish life trump priesthood. Moses was going to become Moshe Rabbeinu. Moses, our teacher, Moses was going to become one of them. And by a clever reading of a Psalms passage, Moses is now told by God that the world itself, ha'olam kulo, will not be able to exist without Torah. And thus he, Moses, will forever be the teacher of Torah, and thus Moses will forever be responsible for the continuity of existence. Rabbi Yitz Greenberg takes us one step further. Our Sedra constantly evokes Kedusha, holiness. The key element associated with the priesthood is holiness, the vestments, the tabernacle, the designated rituals. But the highest levels of holiness, according to the rabbis, are not to be found within the sacrificial rituals, not even in that place known as Kodesh HaKodeshim, the Holy of Holies, but rather in each and every one of us becoming more like God by living in imitation of what we understand to be God's qualities, if we even can speak of God as having qualities, if we dare to do that. The priests, even the high priest, can lead us through the rituals of holiness. But only the fullness of Torah can lead us through lives of holiness. How does this work? Greenberg offers a powerful intuition about human tasks, and I'm going to quote him here. It's great. Humans are called upon to fill creation with life and to repair the world so it will support life to the maximum in all its dignity and value. This mortal realm is real. It is not an illusion. This world is a precious creation, and it is a religious calling to participate in it. Listen now. Physical reality is floating in a sea of spiritual matter. That is God. The Lord is invisible, immeasurable, yet is the very source of existence. This means that there are unseen depths, realms of existence that are just as real as the physical, visible, measurable surface. The key, Yitz Greenberg, to living properly is to participate in the physical life affirmatively and purposively. Close quote. True holiness is to be found in deep and caring relationships with others. When we embrace those others as being B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God, true holiness can be found in the active embrace of life, in all of its potentialities. True holiness can be found when we acknowledge that despite all of our physical and psychological and social and political limitations, free will does exist. So we can choose life. So we can choose the doing of good deeds. Surely the priesthood, the Aaronite priesthood, is all about holiness, of course. But it's a ritualized holiness, a holiness of prescribed and proscribed acts and commitments. The priest is to live in such a way as to be a conduit of the signs of the people's love for God and of the signs of God's love for the people. And surely the life of Torah, the Mosaic and Rabbinic Torah, is also all about holiness, but a holiness of living decisions, a holiness of moral and ethical behavior, a holiness of tikkun olam, a holiness of love and of respect. Moses emerges from this unwanted division of tasks, with the key role, the one upon which all of existence depends. Forced to surrender his priestly aspirations and expectations, Moses will forever define for us what it means to be holy, even as God is holy. Ritual will give a physical shape to how we should live. But the Torah of Moses, the Torah of values and of behaviors, will lift our eyes heavenward, nourish our dreams, and sustain our hope. Torah tziva lanu Moshe. The Torah of Moses is an Eitz Chayim, our tree of life. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Purim Samayach. Enjoy this extended few days of celebration. See you next week.